Good morning, everybody. Welcome, and today we're going to be painting some Tyranids. 2 weeks ago we painted some Tau. This week we're going to paint some Tyranids, and next week we're probably going to paint some Necrons, something like that. We're going to continue on our Xeno streak. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will get started painting. And we're going to start off with the flesh color, for which we are using Morghast's Bone. Gives it a nice beigey color. And it works pretty well with the orange that we're going to be doing later on. And it also takes the Koroberg Crimson a lot better than a ceramic white or a Corax white, because it just gives it a dulled down pink, or kind of a more, I guess, a darker pink, you know what I mean? But yeah, so once we're done with that flesh layer, we're going to move on and we're going to work on the carapace. I think it's a carapace, the shell, the sort of the back plates, you know what I mean? We're kind of going to break this up into sections where we're going to do the flesh, we're going to do the shell, we're going to do some edge highlighting on the shell, and then we're going to do some washes. So, we're going to go and use some Dracoro's orange for this. We're also going to use a large brush. I'm using a monster brush, but I would recommend using a regime brush. It's super expensive where I live. So, we're just going to go with it as it is. So, yeah, go ahead and paint those nice shells on. And then we're going to go ahead and use some Troll Slayer Orange to do some edge highlighting. Now this is kind of a choose your own adventure step, I guess, or choose your own paint job step. If you want to do this and stop here, that's fine. If you want to do the wash later on and you want to put the gun, paint the gun as well, I guess you can skip to that step. But this edge highlighting here, it doesn't show up as well as I thought it was going to when we get to the wash stage with the Nuln Oil. So if you just want to do that, do the feet and do the gun, that's totally fine. But yeah, we're going to continue on. We're going to paint the hooves and claws here with some Eshin Gray. It's just a nice little dull color because honestly, I don't want those to be the main focus here. The main focus is the shell and the weapons, because we're going to use a blue and going to make it pop. But we're going to thin down the blue quite a bit. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do the Koroberg shading now. We're going to try and get it onto just the flesh. The key here is keeping it just on the flesh, because when you put it onto the shell, it kind of messes it up a little bit and it's kind of hard to get off. And it doesn't work as well as you want it to. So just try to avoid putting it onto the shell and just put it onto the flesh, because it gives it a nice, I guess the word's grapefruit. It looks kind of grapefruity to me, I guess, but it's a nice color and it looks pretty good once we actually get finished it and it dries on, and it just looks awesome. So yeah, we're going to finish that. And now we're going to paint the guns, which we're going to use a blue, Temple Guard blue, I think. We're also going to paint the teeth here as it's sort of an accent color, and it just looks pretty cool. It adds on this sort of contrast to it, which is awesome. I'm not gonna lie here. This blue is absolutely sexy. I'm so happy with how this blue turned out. And yeah, so to finish it off, we're gonna use some Nuln Oil. We're gonna do that on the carapace, and we're gonna do it on the guns because it makes it pop. In all honesty, we don't want it to be, with the guns, we don't want it to be totally blue. You want to have it that little bit of black streaks through it, and then blue kind of highlights popping out through it. And then on the shell, it gives it a nice little bit of reflectiveness to it, or a gloss, which I like about Nuln Oil. That's kind of my favorite thing about Nuln Oil, is that it gives it a little bit of gloss. But yeah, so we're just going to finish up putting on the Nuln Oil here, kind of spread it around, get in all the crevices, and then we will be done. And here it is, folks. This is our finished Tyranid. It's got a nice shine to it. It's nice and gritty. And that blue looks so amazing when it's paired with that orange shell and the pinkish, beigeish flesh. And it honestly is pretty awesome. I'm quite happy with this. And in all honesty, I think this is a pretty good Tyranid here, and it's looking pretty good, honestly. So, yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you all next time for probably some terrain, maybe some Necrons. I don't know yet. I'm trying to design some Tau